Hello people, it's your boy Usman back again with another video. This time it's Manchester United's second Champions League game. CSKA Moscow in the Champions League, you know, man's upgraded this season. But yeah, we're away home in Moscow, and as you know, it's not flipping easy to go away in Europe, let alone in Russia. When it's cold, the pitch is absolutely battered. Not making any excuses, just stating the fact. But anyways, before we get into that, just want to talk about our victory against Southampton on the weekend. There's been a massive uproar. In case you don't know, Manchester United won 1-0 against Southampton. Yes, it was a convincing. However, sometimes you gotta just graft it out and get the 3 points. Not every flipping week is gonna be 5-0, 4-0, 3-0. You're not gonna play fluid football and fluid football, should I say, every week. Sometimes you gotta really graft it and just do the dogged work. Yes, I don't agree with some of the decisions Jose made, particularly the one when he took Mkhitaryan off for Smalling. For me personally, it was too early in the game to start parking the bus, and I just thought it was a massive race. However, what I would say is, basically, if we did that last season, it went away, but this season we got through it, and you know, for me personally, it just shows that, you know, we have actually improved from last season in the sense that we were able to hold on. Like I said, I don't agree with the fact that we parked the bus, because for me personally, I just think it's a massive gamble, and I would have been absolutely fuming if after that they scored in the last minute. Would have been devastated, but they didn't score and we got through it. So I don't understand why people are getting so bloody annoyed. It's been one game that we've done that and people are just throwing the toys at the bloody pram. I just think it's a massive overreaction. We got the 3 points. That's the main flipping thing. If we did that week in, week out, then I started getting annoyed. But it's a one-off. Let's flipping calm yourselves down. Anyways, going into the preview for this game against CSKA Moscow. What do we know about Moscow? Well, first things first, they're fourth in the division. The Russian league, the fourth, mate. Just let that sink in. You know, flipping, the top scorer's only got, I think it's 4 goals or something stupid in flipping 11 games. The top scorer's on flipping 4 goals in 11 games. In the Russian league, let that sink in as well. Oh my god, if we actually don't flipping win this game, I know it's away at Russia, but come on, man, they're a dead club. Also, what else do we know? Done about, was it 11 points or something stupid? I've done about 15 points, something dead after 11 games. They're in fourth, like I said, in the Russian league. Who really cares? The 2 centre-backs are brothers, the twins, the 35-year-olds. Yes, you heard me. They're both 35-year-olds. So flipping Lukaku should have a field day against 2 bloody 35-year-old pensioners at the back. So in my opinion, it's an absolute flipping... It's just a walk in the park, really. On paper, it's a walk in the park. We shouldn't really have any sort of problems whatsoever. But knowing us, we'll just find a way, won't we? But anyways, let's talk about some of the sort of news breaking from the Man United camp. First things first, Jose's come out and said Valencia's not playing. I'm thinking that's him getting rested, which is completely fine. He doesn't need to be playing against Moscow. Like I said, it should be a walk in the park. Also, the likes of Fellaini is a doubt. I think he's picked up an ankle injury or something along those lines. So I suppose that opens the door for Herrera and potentially character play. And also at the back, we're not sure what's happening with Lindelof. Joseph basically come out and said he's not ready. We already know he's not ready. We've seen him a couple of times this season. He just looks a bit off the pace. But for me personally, this is a perfect opportunity for him to play. Also, Jones and Bailly are back in contention. They've served their respective bands within the cup. So potentially we might see one of them two playing, if not both of them. But yeah, so let's go into the team lineup, and then obviously I'll discuss tactics and the rest of that sort of stuff. Yeah, so first and foremost, David De Gea net. For me, no-brainer. He should be playing week in, week out. Also, a bit of the news from the camp, actually. Tuanzebe is fit now. I think it might be a bit soon for him. I was about to say he potentially could play right back, but I just can't see it happening. You know, the options, Darmian, Ashley Young, I think he's going to go for Darmian this time, you know, just to rotate the squad a bit. Very simple game on paper, so, you know, by all means play the second team to extent, you know, give those guys a rest. So Darmian right back, centre backs for me, Lindelof and Smalling. Again, Lindelof just needs game time. Yes, he needs time to settle, but this is a perfect opportunity for him. The level's not that high. He probably won't even have many touches of the ball, so to speak, so it might just be a good confidence booster. And also Smalling, exactly the same, he needs more time on the pitch. Left back for me, could be Ashley Young again, could be Blind. I would love to see Luke Shaw. He's fit. Please make it Luke Shaw. I just can't see it happening, but I would love it to be Luke Shaw, but I think it's going to be Daley Blind. Coming to the middle of the park, sticking to the 4-2-3-1 formation, because why change something that's working so far? Got a couple of options here. We can go for Matic and Herrera, or we could go for Carrick and Herrera. For me personally, again, yeah, I suppose you could play Matic and Herrera for this game. I was going to go Matic and Herrera. I was thinking Carrick probably could play, but I just can't see Jose doing that either. Anyways, going into the number 10 position, Mkhitaryan for me. He comes alive in Europe, and honest to God, he's played in Russia earlier on in his career, and he's also moved over to Ukraine and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like a homecoming for him. I think he's going to be probably star man. I know he hasn't been fantastic in the last couple of games, but this would be a good opportunity for him to get his confidence back up and just hit a bit of form again. So Mkhitaryan 10 on the right. I can see Jose playing Jesse Lingard, but I suppose no, I'm going to go Jesse Lingard. I'm going to go Jesse Lingard on the right, give Mata a bit of a rest. Mickey 10. Martial has to play for me. Didn't obviously play on the weekend for whatever reason. And that man Lukaku up top, because why the hell not? Let's just fill the boots up. Regarding tactics in general, for me, I'm expecting them to sit deep. If I'm not mistaken, they tend to play 3 at the back. Don't know why every team's going to be playing like 3 at the back at the moment. I think it's a bit of a madness. They're probably going to play 5 at the back, let's be honest. Probably going to be looking at a 5, probably like a 5-3, or probably 5-4-1. Let's go for 5-4-1. I think they're gonna play 5-4-1. Sit very deep. Probably try to frustrate us as much as they can. If I'm being honest with you, if you're neutral watching this game, I think it's gonna be a dead game. If I'm being honest with you, I just think it's gonna be one of those games. The ball's gonna be bouncing all over the place. It's gonna be very hard for us to play our kind of brand of football. Hopefully the crosses are decent, because for me, I just think it's gonna be one of those games that the ball's gonna be in the air quite a lot. We're gonna be relying on the width and the wing. However, in saying all of that, like I said, they've got 2 35-year-olds in defence. We should have a lot of joy going forward. I'm expecting us to be devastating, with the ball, passing the ball through the lines quickly, moving the ball quickly. It should be really like a training game for us. It's an opportunity for us to obviously get a bit of match fitness as well, just to continue the momentum and build the confidence, get a couple of goals under our belts. Honestly, it's a really good opportunity for the players to just get a couple of goals. I'm just making no mistake about that. But what I will say is, and I have said it a couple of times before, Martial, I love you getting on the ball, but please run in behind a bit more. You got pace to absolute burn, stretch to play a bit, give flipping the defenders something to think about. Like I said, 2 35-year-olds. Imagine Martial and Lingard running in behind, and Lukaku. It's going to be an absolute madness. They got no chance of flipping keeping up with any of them. So by all means, test them at every given opportunity. What I don't want to see is just tiki-taka in front of their back four constantly. Let's get the flipping defence moving. They're not really mobile players in that sense. Get it moving, keep the ball moving as much as we possibly can, and just try and flip in, get the ball in behind as often as we possibly can. Because for me personally, we just don't do that enough. We do see it a couple of times with Rashford, and I suppose Lukaku runs the channels, but we've got to utilise the pace as well. It's all well and good playing in front of the back four. We've got to play the ball over the top as well, dink it over the top. Just a bit frustrating sometimes, especially against Southampton. We were very poor against Southampton, make no mistake about it. The improvement has to be, the performance has to be massively improved from the game against Southampton. For me, just the quality on the ball was absolutely piss poor on the weekend, and that was the main reason we were absolutely just shocking going forward, really. For me personally, I would like to see that be rectified against Moscow. The players, they got to just step up, mate. They just got to step up. Easy game. Play the ball in behind, play the ball to feet, keep the ball moving, quick build up. I don't want to see this sort of stagnated football that we keep playing in Europe away from home when teams park the bus. Make the ball move quickly on the deck or even in behind, over the top. None of this flipping 100 touches kind of BS. Valencia, I know he's not playing, but Valencia's a good example. I've used it so many times. He stops too much. He gives the opportunity for the defenders to settle. Let's not do that. Let's keep the movement fluid in the final third. Get Mkhitaryan in the pockets. Get Mkhitaryan on the ball. Get Mkhitaryan releasing the ball in behind to the wingers. Jobs are flipping good, and we're going to absolutely batter them. In saying all of that, I'm going to keep it simple. 2-0 Man United. For me personally, I'm going to go for Lukaku and Mkhitaryan, because that man comes alive in Europe, and I'm going to go for Mkhitaryan to be the man of the match. By all means, leave your opinions on who you think can be the man of the match. Leave your opinions on what you think I've said. Like I said, the most joy is going to be in behind. Yes, I know they're going to play a very low line, so obviously the players are going to be very pushed back. However, for me personally, I just think there's going to be pockets of space created for the likes of Mkhitaryan and the other players such as Lingard and Martial, if those mans are stretching them as far back as possible. That's basically what we want. Get Mkhitaryan in those pockets of space, and he's going to be absolutely devastating this game. I'm telling you. I'm absolutely telling you. But that aside, hope you've enjoyed the video. Drop a like. Feel free to subscribe if you're new, because I do make videos fairly regularly. Drop a share on the video on my social medias or in the description. Apart from that, take care. Enjoy the game. Come on, United. Come on.